Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Charlie and this is a brand new type of video I wish to make. This is going to be a review video, as the title suggests, on the brand new iPad mini. I picked one up a couple weeks ago in exchange for my iPad 12.9 inch. I made a separate video on why it just wasn't up to the task, being a computer and stuff, so I decided to buy the smaller iPad and this is going to be my review on it. So let's get straight into it. To begin with, let's talk about the size. The iPad mini is tiny. In comparison to my 12.9 inch and in comparison to the 11 inch, the iPad mini is dwarfs in size really. Fits straight in the palm of your hand, no problem at all. You can even fit it in your pocket. It is so small. Small enough really that the Apple Pencil almost covers up the entire side. You struggle to actually you struggle to hold the pencil with it because it does cover up the entire thing. It's almost the size, look, which is very interesting. There are colours for this as well. I've got the Starlight option, which I think looks like a goldy white. I don't want it to look like gold. I want it to look sort of like, it looks like silver with a hint of gold. It doesn't look like gold used to look, and it doesn't look like silver. It's sort of in the middle. I really sort of like that look. But in comparison to the size, it's very handheld. I sort of treat this as in a bigger phone. When Steve Jobs first announced the iPad, he sort of announced it to bridge the gap between your phone and your laptop. Somewhere in the middle. Where I felt as the iPad Pro was too much of a laptop. It's too big. When you buy the keyboard and stuff, you might as well not even own a laptop. Especially for light tasks, you don't need to own the MacBook. Whereas now, Apple Pencil and this is a perfect note-taking device. Perfect. The size is amazing, fits straight in the palm of your hand. I can't say this enough. Your phone is very palm friendly, but this, as like an 8 point whatever inch screen it is, it's so tiny, so small, and I don't think it compromises on a lot of things to keep that functionality. Anyway, let's talk about the display. The display is a 60Hz LCD panel. It's a very good LCD. It's bright enough for indoor use. It's not too bright. You're not going to get the 1000 nits brightness that you get on HDR displays, especially compared to the iPad Pro I used to own and new iPad Pros. The displays are amazing. They're 120Hz ProMotion. You've got the inky blacks of the mini LEDs, and not quite OLED, but it's mini LEDs and stuff like that, so it is very good. But this display just doesn't hold up when compared to the iPad Pros, and that is probably the biggest shortcoming of this device. It's just the iPad Pros. It's just like it doesn't live up to the functionality of it really, which I think is really interesting. But the display, it's, as I said, look at the B-roll right now. It's 60Hz. If you don't quite understand what that means, it's just a completely slower display, which means everything you do on it will be slower. So that's Apple Pencil. Apple Pencil does feel quite laggy. The iPad mini is, the display is it's slow by today's standards. Phones are getting 120Hz, tablets 120Hz, and now MacBooks into 120Hz. It would have been very good for them to make an iPad mini Pro. I've heard a lot of other YouTubers say this, and I'm behind it. Having completely gone iPad mini now, I do understand what they mean. It's the biggest shortcoming of this device. It's just the display could be so much better. 120Hz and a bit brighter is all I ask for. Talk about performance. I touched on it last. The performance is absolutely amazing. It's an A15, so you've got the power efficiency. It's blazing fast. It's faster than the A14 by a tiny bit. But the A15 is absolutely smoking. It's smoking fast. And I haven't had a single problem where anything's really happened. When I'm on Photoshop, for example, and I'm playing Asphalt or whatever games I'm playing, it's fast, graphics are really good. And on, a decent display, it is a very, it's a unique experience to hold an iPad that big. It's that small. It's a phone. It's bridging the gap between the phone and the iPad, I think, this sort of. It's small enough for you to put it in your pocket and to still be your phone, but big enough for you to start to actually do some real work on it, which is what I sort of like, and the performance backs that up. Talk about performance as well. Battery life is amazing. You can watch YouTube on it all day, you can do anything on it all day, and it's all day battery life. It's as advertised. It's all day battery life. So overall, the cameras are subpar, but that is to be expected from an iPad mini. You know, the iPad Pros are getting double cameras and LiDAR sensors. They expect that to be sort of pro feature, but I think good cameras are good on everything. You know, you should sort of trickle it down. The LiDAR sensor is especially useless, but you know, for the 1 or 2 times you 3D scanned a room, I can imagine it's good, but it wouldn't be useful in this. I would say, you know, Face ID should have really been on this iPad. You know, Touch ID is fine. It's fine, and I think it's small enough to be in a good place. You know, you don't have to get out of your way like you would on the iPad Air. You know, it's natural for your finger to rest at the top, unlock, simple. But overall, I've rambled enough about it in this video. If you like smaller iPads and you need something just a bit bigger than your phone, I would recommend this is definitely. I think this iPad's mainly for iPhone mini users. They can't really do much on their phones, you know, they can't really watch a lot of stuff. So I would say this is definitely for them if they like their mini products. But I would recommend a lot of people skip over this and they get the iPad Air, or, you know, swallow up the extra cash, get the iPad Pros, maybe even the Pro I had 11-inch Pros, not the newest generation M1 because that's overkill. I've gone over that in another video, but just like normal iPad, I think is fine for a lot of people. But if you want the pocketable power that this is, I strongly recommend it. This has been Charlie. Thank you for watching. Tell me if you like more videos like this, and I will try to cater some more content towards this sort of style. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.